Hello, everyone. Lori here. Welcome to my How Do You Spirit podcast. I'm excited to present another episode to all of you. You can find my How Do You Spirit podcast on many platforms. Just Google How Do You Spirit podcast by Lori Jewett and pick your favorite listening platform. If you are interested in becoming a guest, have questions, or would like to suggest a topic, please go to the website howdoyouspirit.com and put your requests in. Let's get started. Hey, everyone out there. Thank you for joining us today. I'm here with Taco again. Love having her as a guest. And we want to talk today about you, all of you out there. Are you in survival mode?
Yes.
And what that means. Hello, Taco.
Hi, Lori.
So, where do you want to start with this? We're in this new dimension right now, and you and I were kind of talking about conversation in past lives and how they can potentially affect us,
Yes.
today. But you mentioned to me that it's not so much today.
No, because of this new shift that we're into and trying to amp up in, the old lives, our old wants, our old wishes, our old dreams, desires, our old soul purposes, the experiences and all of that, most of us have come down several times.
Yes.
And have learned that. But because we're in such a new shift, you have to kind of look at it as our slate has been wiped clean.
Okay.
So there ain't a damn ding, dent, or smudge mark on our path right now.
Uh-huh.
And our guides have literally given us the power to create the reality that we want.
So we can basically just live our life however we want to and have whatever we want.
And it can be as hard as you want it to be. It can be as easy as you want it to be. It can be as fulfilling as you want it to be. You truly are in control of it. The biggest problem is because of our old conditionings and because of our old wants and dreams and desires, we tend to get stuck on the past.
Yes.
And the past isn't going to be relevant anymore.
It doesn't serve us anymore.
It's not.
Yeah.
You're not going to have residue from any past life or even your past up until the current time that is going to be affecting you.
Okay.
In any way. You could have soul memories, right? Or cell memories that, let's say, all health is you start emotionally first, right? So if, let's say, you were having a lot of trouble moving forward, and so physically you'll have a lot of issues with your legs, your feet, knees, ankles, and so that's your foundation. And when you don't fix the emotional, it will become physical. So you want to have that movement. Anytime it's movement, you're going to be affected with things that make you move. Right.
Yeah.
And what we're finding is a lot of people are actually fixing the emotional. So the physical usually will follow.
Fix itself.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's really the only residue that we have from our past is just old cell memories. So, we've got this brand new movement that we're creating. And so, you're going to see people with a lot of movement problems. And if you can start realizing that old you, those old ways of being are no longer relevant, you'll free yourself from those health elements.
Okay. So what would you say is the biggest contributor to people not being able to get out of that space and move on from the past and things and move forward with the life that they truly want to live in, their purpose?
The biggest hurdle we all have to climb is realizing, understanding that we do have that power, that those old conditionings, right, are what's keeping you from having a soul fulfilling life. So you have to break out of the mind fuck.
Yes, yes.
That we get literally from the day we're born, that you have to work real hard in order to gain anything. You have to, be a certain type in order to be loved. You have to be a certain type in order to make a lot of money. All of those things, if you can realize that your value is bigger than that, and you deserve that's something that is possible for you. And that's the biggest hurdle, to understand it's possible for you. Yes. And so what I find is a lot of times when I'm doing readings, people's guides will tell them, like, this is a worthiness issue. If you can learn that you are worthy of being loved, learn that you are worthy of having a stress-free life, you'll break through that. Your guides will line that up perfectly. Getting you to understand and realize that's another little bit of a hiccup, right?
Yeah.
And so the more you can, because we're very visual creatures.
Yes, 100%.
We are.
I'm very, very.
Oh man, we all are. We all are. But the more you can give yourself a visual of what you're wanting, right? Yeah. The quicker your guides can line that up, and the smoother it'll fall into place for you to allow you to have that freedom from the binds that you put on you. And so, like, soul-fulfilling love, that is something I can't even stress the importance of love. Love is always worth the risk. It doesn't matter if it lasts 5 minutes, 5 hours, 5 days, or 5 lifetimes. It is the best reward we get in life.
Yeah.
Literally, you can move mountains and it don't feel like work when you're in love. You can stay up days on end and not be tired.
And that includes, and I feel like it needs to start with loving yourself.
It does, because you can't, you truly, and again, this is a universal law. I'm a Taurus, I go to distance, and they are not breakable. But those universal laws, you will never truly believe or understand or accept that someone can love you until you learn to love yourself.
Yes.
And so again, it's you who's putting those limitations on you. It's not the other side. It's not God. It's not your guides. It's not a higher power. It's not Mother Earth. It's not Father Son. It's you.
Yeah.
And if you can realize that you're basically your own worst enemy, right? And put yourself out of the way, even if you have to fake it to make it.
Yeah.
Fake it to make it, right?
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, there's a bigger part of you that does know it's possible. We've just been conditioned not to listen to it.
And I've noticed that a lot, even myself in my spiritual growth over the last couple of years, that I feel like I do truly love myself now. And
you do.
And since then, I always tell people this, I just don't get stressed on it.
Right? Your world fell together effortlessly.
It does.
It does. It does. And then we go into the kicking ourselves in the ass because we're like, well, why didn't we do this sooner?
Right. A long time ago. Yes. This should have been. Yeah. 100%. And so part of that would be living in fear.
Yes.
Right. Because like you were talking about being conditioned.
Yes.
We hear all these negative things.
Yeah. There's people are really struggling right now because they're so afraid that, our economy is going down the tube. They're afraid that they're not going to have enough. So the problem is that's brainwashing that's been happening. So we're fed those subliminal messages over and over and over again. This is why I refuse to watch the news anymore.
Yeah.
Because it's all just negative. It's like, why are we not putting the spotlight on people that are doing good?
Positive things.
Right. Versus who did what to whom and how.
Yeah.
Right. And we are just absolutely gravitating towards that negative and that fear that's being fed to us. And so it's a lie.
So why do you think so many people, why are we so, what is the right word? Like, why are we so intrigued with the fear, like the news and stuff? Why is that?
We're conditioned to it. And so the problem is we live in survival mode. So survival mode is that fight or flight, right? So when we're looking at the negative and we're hearing the negative, we start to prepare for the worst. Well, why don't we prepare for the best? Because seriously, we create it. And a good example of this, because money is very emotionally based, right? Like, you watch people that gamble, all right? And here's the thing. Yes. I know better, and I still do it. So promise you, I'm flunking the class, and I'm proud that I'm flunking it, right? But if you watch people go and gamble, someone like me or you or normal people, we got $100 to spend, and that's about it, because we want our money going to other shit, right? And so we're like hitting the penny machines one penny at a time, going, God damn it.
Yeah.
But if you've got someone goes in that's got $1,000 to blow or $500 to blow, those sons of bitches win every damn time because they own it, they grab it. And so you watch those doors open up. That's why the rich tend to get richer, is because they're not hyper focused on what they don't have. They're excited about what they got.
Yeah.
And then they start grabbing onto more, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And the same thing goes with us poor folks, right? We are terrified of what we got
lose,
and then we're like counting every penny. And so we're literally creating the exact thing that we're getting mind fucked on.
Yeah.
It's that self-prophecy kind of bullshit.
Right.
But if you can grab a hold of the idea and really absorb the idea that, hey, you know what? I know I've created the misery I've been through. I know I have. But I also can create the positive, the soul fulfillment, if I just allow myself to. And if we can just really try and understand and wrap our minds around the fact that we can be and create whatever the hell we want. I mean, we're the only ones that are in our way.
Yes.
And you have to try and get out of your way. And again, if you can even fake it to make it, right? Even when you do that, our guides are so on top of it. And the other thing that I'm finding, and I don't know, maybe you're experiencing the same thing. I'm finding, because again, like, I pay attention after like the millionth time people's guides say it. They're like, oh shit. Yeah, I might need to listen to that. That might be like a universal thing, right?
Yeah.
But I find that people are really fearful of the fact that they feel so like alone right now, and that they're not feeling as connected with the other side as what they were before. And it's a big part of it's because of the shift. So there's a lot of haziness, a lot of like the energy is very thick, right? And so you got to kind of remember we'll say the veil, right? Yeah. It's most thickest at the end. So it's kind of got a really thick at the end or the beginning. And then in the middle, it's really thin, right? We're in that thickest part because our planet is shifting that vibration. So it's causing a lot of cloudiness, shall we say, to where people aren't feeling their guides as much as what they're used to, or feeling like God's hearing them as much as what they used to. That's not what's really actually happening. They're right on board, but we don't feel it as strongly as what we used to. And so I find a lot of my clients are worried about that. Is it something they're doing? Are they, I'm meditating, I'm going on medicine journeys, I'm doing all these things. I'm like, you ain't got to do that. I just tell my guys what the hell to do.
Just tell them what you want.
This is what I want. So when you can give yourself a visual about what you're wanting, you'll see your guides literally give you all the doors that you can go through to get it. And it is up to you on what door you want to take. You can take the scenic route, right? Or you can go the straight and narrow. Either way, you're getting to the same destination.
All right. So we just have to be careful too about how we said, I don't want my car to break down.
Right.
And so we have to be careful with our words,
right,
and our thoughts.
Well, and remember, every time you think a negative thought at you, right, or you say a negative thing to you, your brain tells that 1,300 times.
Oh my!
Right? I mean, so, and I'm good at I'm a professional beat myself upper, you know? And so I tend to punish myself now every time I have that negative thought. I've got to come up with 3 positives, you know?
That's a great thing,
Because it overrides that negative, and it helps rewire your brain
your thought process.
To start paying attention. And what people don't understand is the universe doesn't hear the word don't.
Okay.
So when you're hyper focusing on something, right, whether it's what you want or whether it's what you don't want, you're literally creating that. So when I freak out that my car's going to break down, I'm literally creating that instead of visualizing I know when I'm going to get to my destination just fine.
Yeah. I'm listening to a book right now by Wayne Dyer.
Oh, I love Wayne Dyer.
Amazing. And he talks about the I ams.
Yes. Yep.
I am this, I am that, you know, and that's really resonated with me a lot. And I've just learned listening to that book that when we're speaking and talking like that's how God, you know.
Yep.
It's I am.
Absolutely.
And, yeah.
Absolutely. A matter of fact, one of my favorite things when God was asked what religion he was, right?
Yes.
And he says, I am that I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so anytime I get my Bible thumpers coming at me, right, they're like, oh yeah, well, what religion are you? I'm like, I am that I am.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just me. You know, and, you know, that's the other thing is, you know, this void that we're all feeling, this disconnect. Part of that is, again, because of this shift, and people don't understand that all relationships in our life right now are up for review, right? So you're either going to reconnect with them and redo your contract with that soul.
Yes.
Or you're going to Taylor Swift their ass, write a song about it, never get back together.
Right.
You know? I mean, right down to your enemy. You've got to renew that contract or you're going to have to Taylor Swift them. And so, you know, the more you can allow yourself to enjoy this journey and let it be as gooey and yummy and morsely as you can, the more you're going to see how powerful you actually are.
Okay.
And that is a really, really important thing right now, because I think a lot of people are feeling very weak. They're feeling really life tired.
Lost.
Very lost, very alone. And this is why I really would encourage people to just reach out to one another, you know? Part of the reason why I was so excited to join, you know, your Facebook page, How Do We Spirit, do some podcasts with you, is I love your idea, and I've been wanting for a long time to create something like that so that I can get all my people that are just having these big breakthroughs and doing great, that they can share their story and band together, you know, because a lot of people, it's not that they don't want to be social. It's not that they don't want to create friendships and have that. It's they don't know how.
Right.
Where do they
go? What do I
do?
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of us have outgrown our old army, our people. And, you know, I say all the time, I don't care how spiritually aware you are. I don't care if you have the highest IQ on the planet. When you're in the situation, you're blindfolded. Yeah. We are not designed to do life alone. Yeah. And so if we can create people to come together, community that are you know, on the same level and can encourage, hey, if I can do this, I promise you can, right? And band together. Man, could you imagine that kind of movement?
It would be so amazing. And that's why I'm so passionate about this and want to get everybody's stories out there and different experiences and words and how do you spirit, right? Because there's so much, and I've learned so much just in the few short episodes that I've done so far. But I really, really want people to, you know, speak up and let's get this community going. And
amen.
Yeah. grow it. And
come together, support each other.
Yes.
You know, there's a lot of, I think they call them internet sleuths or something like that. And you get, man, it's like the cancel culture. You get someone that says the wrong thing, looks the wrong way, acts in any way, disagrees with you in any way, and you got a bazillion of those motherfuckers on your ass. But you've got people that are literally doing the kindest, nicest, life-changing things, and they don't get that band together.
Right.
And that it's like, why? Have you guys ever stopped to ask yourself why? Exactly. Why are we not supporting and showing up more for the people that are doing good?
The good things,
right? And connecting with them and joining armies with them,
supporting each other,
versus the ones that just want to tear you down.
Yeah.
They want to destroy you. And I think, again, a lot of this is a worthiness problem.
Okay.
I don't think a lot of us understand that positive, because we're not conditioned this way.
No.
Positive thinking, that positive movement, that one kind act, that movement forward, that is way more powerful than anything negative that can happen.
It's so powerful. We should maybe start a news channel.
I would love that.
About positive things, that happen to people, to kind of overwrite all this negative crap that we see on the news all day, all the time.
I'm going to tell an amazing experience, and then I want you to tell me one.
Okay.
So this one is one that comes from deep tragedy.
Okay.
But it ended up being the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. So I have someone very close to me that lost their daughter. And man, it just should not be part of what life's about when you lose your kid.
Right.
It's just absolutely heartbreaking, and I know this happens a lot, but it's still just, that never is okay.
No, we're supposed to go before.
Right? Yeah, that should be universal law, for damn sake.
Yes,
me and God's got a conversation to have on that one. But with such a deep loss, and how destroyed so many were over this child's passing, I've never seen a community come together and honor someone so well in my life. Like, I don't even think the President of the United States gets this kind of respect and send off and support that these people got. And it was like the most heartbreaking thing I ever seen, but it was also the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
Yes.
With that many people coming together and going, we're going to honor this child. We're going to honor your family. We're going to honor these people that were strangers. They were strangers and showing up. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about.
Yes.
That's the kind of stuff that I'm going, you guys, man, if you could have seen this, if you could experience this, it was life-changing.
Yeah.
It was life-changing.
These armies of people come
together, and was so, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that should be reported on.
Yes, exactly.
It was the most healing experience I've ever had in my life. I'm just and I've died and met God, and I think this experience kind of trumped that a little bit, So I get it. But have you had an experience like that?
Yes, and it's with my sister that passed away. And I guess, yes, same thing. She passed away way before her time. And again, the people that came to support my family and myself during that time.
Yes.
People they just come out of the woodwork. People that you would never think that would show up for you, they show up for you.
Amen.
Yes, and it's amazing, and we just don't realize as people how much really, I guess, love is out there for everyone, right?
And kindness.
People want to, love and kindness, and they want to share that. And it's sad that it takes a tragedy,
Right.
like you were saying, for people to come together and love each other and support each other. We should be loving and supporting each other all the time.
All the time.
No matter what.
Right.
And yeah, I did see that when my sister passed away, and very grateful for
Oh,
that.
man. I get you.
Yeah. And
I get you.
so yeah, that was a big one for me. And that was too when I was going through a lot of my
massive
spiritual
life change.
Yes. Life, spiritual transformation, all those things. And that even helped me grow a lot spiritually.
Exactly.
And with Shelley passing away, because of my spirituality and what I believe in, it's never easy. I'm not going to say it was easy to lose her, because it absolutely wasn't.
No.
I can't physically hug her anymore. I am comforted in knowing that she really is in a great place.
Absolutely.
And she's doing what she loves, and she's happy and
not suffering anymore.
Yes.
I feel you on that. When my sister ended up passing away, it was insane to me, because I remember the day before she passed, because she struggled with addiction. And I seen her the day before she passed, and I'm not kidding you, she looked the best I'd ever seen her look. Like, she was sober, she was dressed up, she was beautiful, she was at peace, she wasn't being the, neurotic, drunk tweaker, what I mean? And it was like, I remember looking at her and just going, oh my God, I didn't realize my sister was that beautiful. And so when she passed the next day, it shattered my soul. I mean, in one way, she's the biggest pain in my butt, but in the next way, she was my biggest cheerleader and fan. And so it is a hard thing when you lose that part of you. Even though I talk to her and feel her and see her all the time, it is still hard, because you can't physically go hug them. And, they got stuff to do on the other side, too.
They're busy.
So. And on top of that, because we're the creators of time, they're like, quit your belly aching. I ain't been gone very long. Shut the hell up and finish your duties, So there is so much light that comes out of tragedy. And, if you kind of look at things like that, because I think that happens in every way, you can have that negative, but look at the positive. Look at what came out of that. You were going through major life changes at the time you lost your sister.
Yes.
And you were just like finding your identity again.
I truly was.
You were literally turning the river of who you are backwards, and then that happened, and you had a choice. You could have been sucked down that river and just melted and gone into a dark space. Or you could do what you did, which you rose above it. You embraced it. You leaned into it. You tried to really absorb everything that was good in it, and you came out shining like a beautiful diamond.
Oh, thank you.
And I notice a lot of people, they can do this, and that it really is just a choice. And it's kind of like what we're talking about, where it's like, if you can understand that your value, your worth, you are more than lovable.
Yes.
You just being who you are is more than enough. Everything else is just extra. It's just the icing and cherry on top.
Yep.
And if we could actually try and learn to embrace that positive side of us, that is so powerful. And so this negative stuff is actually very weak. It's very weak. We just don't realize that. Yeah. We don't realize it because we're conditioned to not realize that. But when you have hope and you've got a little pep in your step and you're like, nope, I know I'm going to do this. Mm-hmm. There's not one thing that I've decided, hey, that's what I'm going to do that I didn't get to achieve and do, and the universe didn't line it up for me.
Thinking, you just saying that, and I have this flash of the last few years of my life, and I'm like, Yeah, that's true for me too. It really is. And even still happening today.
Right. Yeah, I always it is. It is we're in such a beautiful transformation right now. And I think that, with it, well, I know, it's not even think. Right. I know with this shift, there's going to be so much light and so much beautiful movement. I do think that that's going to be hard for us to kind of wrap our souls around, but it's full speed ahead, and one way or the other, we're going to get there.
So how would you say one could? So the visual is one way to start working on that, just visualing your life and what you want out of it,
right?
And what you want in your life.
Well, see, and that's what guides are like running into problems with us right now.
Okay.
Is getting us to decide what we want. We are very clear on what we don't want.
Yeah.
But we ain't got a damn clue what we want. I mean, so it's like, it's funny because when a lot of times when I'm doing readings, especially lately, it's like they've got all this like garbage and everything kind of cleared up, wrapped up, signed, sealed, and delivered. But in their future, it's just a bunch of question marks.
Yeah.
So, the problem is getting us to decide. It's like watching paint dry on a cold, wet, gloomy day. It takes us forever. But once we decide, once we go, that's what I want, and I want it to look just like that, and I want it to feel like this, and I want it to enjoy like this, it really will come together so effortlessly for you. You don't even realize that just by making that decision, you didn't have to do really much anything else. It just was going, I'm going to do this.
It's there waiting for us.
Right. And look, if you get to the destination, so let's say, you want to have a soul-fulfilling relationship, okay? Get yourself that detailed visual. If you're watching TV and you're seeing a great makeout session, I want my honey kiss me just like that.
Yes.
Right? Or if you're at a friend's house and you see a couple that's playing together, I want my honey pull my hair, spank me like that. Right? Pray with me like that. Argue with me like that. Sing with me like that. When you start doing that, one, your soul goes, okay, that's what I want. Now I can see that can happen, right? Yeah. So once it gets that visual, not just writing down what you want, but like really identifying, seeing the exact scene you want, that'll become a magnetic energy to attract exactly that. Yes. And money, even if you don't know what career you want to do, right? The best thing to do is write a damn number down on what you want to make a year.
Yes.
Write a number down. I want to make $100,000 a year by April 15th, 2024. Put that somewhere where and just absolutely know, I'm going to get that. I guarantee.
It will come.
I guarantee the universe will line it right up for you. It's just, again, getting you to believe that you're worthy enough that can happen, because that's where the hiccup is. Yeah. That's where we get blocked and stuck, is we truly, heart of heart, soul of soul, don't believe that can happen for us. But why not? Why can't it? What's so big, bad, and horrible about you that you don't deserve soul-fulfilling love?
I told that to someone close to me the other day. And I said, you just got to put it out there and say, this is what I want. Don't think about where, or worry where it's coming from.
Right.
Because when you put it out there, it's going to come to you. And it's probably going to come to you in a way that you would never dream or think that was possible. But it comes to you.
Well, and that's what people's guides say. Decide what you want. Just don't give a shit how you get there.
Yeah.
Exactly. Don't care how I want a soul-fulfilling relationship. Yeah. Don't care how you get there. Just know you deserve that, and that's coming for you. And it really is believing, right?
Yes.
Because we can go, oh yeah, I'm going to get that right.
But you don't truly believe it.
No, you don't. And so it blocks that energy. Your energy is literally blocking you from what you want. I mean, it can literally be handed to you on a silver platter.
Exactly.
And you won't take it. It's kind of like when I tell people, and that we're going into relationships, Like, look, if we had your perfect mate, God stamped approved, FedEx to your doorstep, you're going to call the damn cops and have him arrested.
Right?
You're not going to go, all right, God's package delivered today.
Yeah.
So you have to be willing to let your guides lead you.
Trust
there,
and believe.
right? And it's really, you'll feel it, your intuition. We all have that mechanism, that truth meter in us. Mm-hmm. That absolutely will go off when you're lying to yourself. It will. And you can lie, be the best liar to everyone else and make them believe, but your truth meter's always going to go, nah, you're lying.
I always tell people, and I always say, listen to your guts, right?
Absolutely.
Your intuition, listen to your guts. And I do this even with clients. Got to listen to your guts.
You know what's funny about that? That's another thing that I noticed a lot of my clients are suffering from is gut problems. And the funny part is like, gosh. Oh man, you ain't stomaching life well. Like, shit's going to hit the fan because it literally hits the fan.
It's in your guts.
It is. It is. But how many people are having gut problems is like, it's rampant.
Oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. Right?
But it's because our intuition is so on top. It's so at peak right now.
Yep.
And so, you just got to kind of follow your guts. Don't follow the shit. Follow your guts. Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense. That's awesome. I believe that we just have to really, truly let go and trust our guides, the universe, spirit, our wishes and dreams.
Absolutely. But you do have to decide. That's the key. You do have to decide what you want.
And be very clear.
Boy, I'll tell you what. No, I wouldn't leave anything open because I got a story one time. When I was in my early 20s. God takes care of me, and I swear my guides are so funny because they do things that people just, when they hear the story, they're like, don't believe me because it just doesn't happen. Kind of like when I pulled money out of my ass, you know? But I had this time where I was, light bill was due and it was $100 and I was like, oh man, I ain't got that, Well, my sister had taken me on one of the little Wendover trips, fun bus things, and they'd give you $11 to gamble, and I didn't have pot pistons, so I didn't have no money. I just had the $11.
Right.
And I am not kidding you. That was back when you could do the dimes and nickels and stuff. So I put my last 3 dimes in, and literally, because I kept thinking to God, please give me that $100. Please give me that 100. Yeah. And I didn't say dollars. I said that 100. Please just give me the 100. Please just give it. Sure shit, I got 100 dimes. Be careful what you wish for. Be very specific because, man, they don't give you a penny more. That happens to me a lot. I love the way that I feel my higher power shows up for me every day, and I feel really spoiled by them because, again, I tell my family and my friends this all the time. God takes better care of me than I could ask anyone else to. And because there's not anything that I've asked for that I needed or I even wanted that I haven't gotten or gotten the opportunity to get.
And you saying all that, again, I'm having flashes of all, things in my mind, and it's so true for me too.
Right.
And I think now too that I can recognize it and really truly believe that the universe has our back.
100%.
It just comes more now.
Right.
Because I'm not worried about the outcome. This is what I need, and I know that when I need it, God, the universe, true for me.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, and a lot of times also us healers, we're very self-sacrificing. We're like, don't worry, the building fell on top of me. Save yourself. I'll hold it up for you. But, when I have some people that are just do-gooders, they go around and help and feed the homeless and all sorts of things. They're always like, I just don't understand why God can't just let me win the lottery. And the funny part is, and this is true for me as well, our guides know that if they give us that money, it would have been given away before we even got the check. I mean, none of it would have been spent on ourselves. And so, if we can embrace the fact that the biggest important thing right now is to be a healthy selfish, start thinking about you, putting yourself on that priority list, realizing your value, realizing you're deserving, and putting that to the test, and really taking full advantage of this next couple of years, because again, you really are being handed the power to create what reality you want to live in. So let it be juicy, let it be soul-fulfilling, let it be compassionate, let it be, warm and fuzzy, and let yourself let go of all the things that you feel you're not enough of. You feel like you're not deserving of. You feel like, it can never happen for you. Challenge that. Why do I feel that way about me? What have I done in my life to make me think that I'm not worth loving? What have I done in my life to make me think that I just have to always work for scraps? What have I done? Because I think a lot of times we actually are more afraid of what we can become, in the sense of, having the soul-fulfilling relationship. Am I gonna really enjoy that? Is that something I can keep up the work on? Am I worthy of being financially free? Is that something I'm deserving on? And because a lot of times I see people more afraid of success than afraid of failure. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they just already felt like they were a failure. So there's no pressure to keep, to follow through on that.
Anyway. So I've noticed too that in my journey, and now that I'm kind of flip-flop to, the other side of it and believing and loving myself.
Yes.
Honestly, I don't even think about living in scarcity or being fearful or
amazing.
I just know that I'm on my right path now and have a need when I need it, and be able to my life's journey and purpose.
Right. You put your guides to the test, again, kind of like what I was saying, getting that detailed visual of what kind of a mate you want, right? What kind of kind of love and what that would look like. Put your guides to the test. When you start saying, this is what I want it to look like that, your guides are on a mission. They're going to make that happen, right?
I have a story for that. So when I met my husband, I literally had made my list of the kind of partner that I wanted in my life. I told people that if I could have drove up to the McDonald's drive-thru and ordered a man, my partner, that's what I got that.
You did. You got a big old Happy Meal.
Yeah, I did. And I always put out there, I wanted my partner or my man to be a bad boy gentleman.
Yes.
And that is exactly.
I remember that. I don't think there's one thing on your list that you didn't mark off with him. He's a good catch.
Yeah. So it does. It can happen, people.
Oh,
you gotta just put it out there.
Again, love is our charger. It is the best reward we get in life. Don't cheat yourself out of that. And don't make excuses to stay in a toxic relationship. I think a lot of times, I see couples that are going, well, I need to stay together for the kids. Why? Do you want your kid to have a relationship like that?
Or grow up around that?
And really learn that that's what love is? Is that what you want to do? Because that's what you're teaching them.
Yes, they're learning from you.
Yeah. So why don't you be their example?
Yep.
And we all got to be an example. Sometimes we're an example of what to do. Sometimes we're an example of what not to do.
Right.
But you don't want to teach your kids to stay in something that is absolutely detrimental to your soul and your health and your mind and your body and your spirit. You don't want to stay in that, and don't use your kids as your excuse, because it really is, you're just afraid.
Yes.
And the more you can say, well, okay, why am I afraid? Well, I'm afraid I'm not going to find anyone else. Yeah. Right. And I think that's, again, if you can kind of question your soul as to why you're blocking something that you really truly desire, you just don't believe you deserve. Why is it that I don't think I deserve it? What am I doing in my life that I feel like I don't deserve to be loved? Yeah. Right? Yes. And if there is something about me I don't deserve to be loved for, I'm going to change it, because that's the other thing. The worst news I can ever give someone in a reading is they're not the problem. Yeah. Because you don't have the power to change it if you're not. Yeah. Yeah. You don't. And so, if you can own whatever that is that made you either feel or believe that you're not worthy of having that, and you have the full power to change that. You have the full power to change that. A lot of times when I've questioned myself, like, why do I feel like I don't deserve that? It boils down to it. I don't know. There really isn't. And you kind of wake up to, you know what, there isn't anything. I guess there was something I might have been told. So I just kind of went with it. Right. Yeah, well, I'm going to try and do the opposite now. Yeah. And it is going to feel like when you go buy that new pair of jeans, make your ass look good, but they're not broken yet. Your ass is going to look good. Yeah, you can't breathe. Don't be sitting down. But I promise you, the more you wear those some bitches, the quicker they become your favorite pair.
Yeah, that's all. All right. Is there anything else you would like to add today?
Just bring, we are absolutely open to taking questions, and, what kind of topics would you like us to talk about? And, things like that. Like, let's get us interacting with one another. I think that's really, really important.
Yes, absolutely.
And let's embrace each other. Let's support each other. Let's be a bigger movement than the negative.
Exactly. And how you can do that, you can go to the website, howdoyouspirit.com, and we have a contact place in there, and send us your questions that we can answer on the show. And we don't have to mention your name or anything. We can be private, but get some answers from us, and also let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about, so we can all learn and grow together.
Amen.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us today. Sending love to all of you.